And welcome back to Calvin's Corner. Today we're going to be talking about Ranked Royale. This is going to be a beginner's guide for is basically is Ranked Royale good for the XP grind and how to take advantage of this particular game mode. As a reminder, you can find key moments shown into the description below, so you don't necessarily have to watch the entire video all the way through. Just look in the description for key moments and jumping around to different spots if you like. You can also watch the video on faster speeds. I talk fairly slowly, so you can even watch it on ×2 speed and get through the slower parts of the video and maybe slow it down when there's a little bit more action. And what is Ranked Royale? So basically in gameplay, you've got your solo play, play solo game mode, is where we spend most of our time in the XP grind. But we also have Ranked Royale, and in different seasons this might actually change to be a ranked squads, but for this particular seasons we have Ranked Royale. And it's basically just the same as solo play, except for there will not be any bots. And instead of getting season points, you end up getting trophies. And what these trophies, if we go over to the leadership board, this is going to give you a different rank. The more trophies you collect, the higher rank you'll get. You can click below and to view all the leagues, and if you get a certain amount of trophies, or not, yeah, trophies, that will put you into your placement. And if you get to the top 8,000, then you will end up getting a certain number of coins and gems. And the higher you place, the better you get. And then once you get up to Amethyst, the top 256, that will put you into the playoffs. So the primary point of playing ranked games is for the XP grinder is to get the gems, because what that's going to do is going to allow you to unlock the season pass. Once you get 200 gems, you can come in, purchase the season pass. Oh, reconnecting here, get the season pass. And what that's going to do for you is it's going to allow you to double XP for each of the goals you accomplish. And with a new account, you can get up to 160 from gaining rank. So I've got up to level 29, and at level 27, that's the last level that you can achieve that will give you any gems. So achieving levels will only get you 160 gems. You see the gems in the top right corner. I did find 4 gems during gameplay, so you can find some gems in the landscapes, but those are very difficult to find. So the best way to get gems, if you don't simply make a purchase, is to get gems through the ranked games. Just a reminder also, if you do start a new account, they do offer a starter pack, and you can get a lot of gems for a little bit of money, but it's usually the best value per gems that you can find. And with that 400 gems, if you do your gameplay right, you can actually get to level 70 with just that single purchase there. So a little bit more about the leadership board. Make sure I cover all my bases here. So you get the trophies that will give you a better rank, and then you can get golden gems. And then at the end of the season, so end of season, they have a timer counting down. If you are available and you actually happen to make it to the top 256, you'll end up going to a playoff. And during that playoff, you'll be, I think, approximately 8 rounds. And if you can make each of your rounds, then you will get the trophy for each round that you complete. If you go into the seasons, you can go back to a previous season, and then you can look under view, go to playoffs, and then you can see who had won in the previous season. So Taco won in the previous season, and then you can go back, take a look to see if any of your friends, or see if you are listed in any of these rounds for yourself. But this is more of a beginner's guide, so I wouldn't focus too much on trying to get the playoffs. It will possibly take a little bit of time to get the skill level to get to that point. So the purpose of this tutorial is just to get at least as many gems as we can. So first thing we're going to do is we are not really going to worry about too much about XP goals in the ranked games. We just simply want to do our best to get trophies. So we do have win 3 ranked battle royale games. So if you have any goals of getting to the top 5 or simply playing Royale or winning Royale, then those can be achieved through the Ranked Royale. And so starting off, what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead, get rid of all of my weapons, and for perks, I am going to go ahead and go for full health, and I'm going to go ahead, let's do, so I'll start off by doing a couple of flak, Homer missile, and 1 mine. And we'll just go ahead and jump right into it. Now at the very beginning, you'll see that we're connecting. And what this is doing is it's going to actually do some matchmaking. So and then once we get into the lobby, first thing you'll notice is that your name has gone away. Your level has gone away. Basically, you're more anonymous now. The only thing that identifies you is your tank, your color, and during the lobby gameplay, if any player gets killed, then that player who dies, their name's going to be shown. So that will kind of give you an idea of maybe who's in the lobby. And once again, there are no bots in this game. And any player who dies, you will discover who those players are. They will reveal the names, and later on, if someone kills you, it will reveal who killed you. We'll talk a little bit about some of the strategies. One of the strategies is to try to get to the high ground, high position, collecting crates and weapons as you go. And we're down to 6 tanks remaining. I think we started with 10. So the goal is to try to get as many kills as possible without dying. And to be the last player remaining, you'll get the most points that way. And you'll see there I got tagged by one of the players and I end up, so if we come in here and then under trophies, I'll get 17 trophies. If you hit the question mark, this is going to tell you who you killed, what their trophies were, how many trophies you got for their kill, or how many points you got. And then let's see, it should show a killed by. I guess I changed it a little bit. It says death. This individual, I think, was the one. This is a little bit different. It shows outranked and ranked. So they changed some of the information from what I've last seen. So since I basically started off with 0, I didn't lose anything. So I got, but I didn't. I got all these points here. So this is going to change as we go along. So we'll keep looking at this as we keep moving through to see how it affects us. So we'll go ahead and exit out to get one of our dunk goals completed. And if we come back over to the leadership board, we were basically in the wood, and that's brought us into the top 8,000. And so now if we were to end the season at this particular point, we get 10 gems with 1,000 coins. Okay, and get some free coins right there. We'll go ahead, jump back into a ranked game. So one of the things you'll notice is my tank color, and now that everyone has played around, if they are in this match again, I've got a fairly unique tank and color, tank skin. So this is basically kind of a giveaway of maybe who I am. So it could be beneficial to, instead of playing with a very noticeable tank, is to play with something that's not quite so obvious. Got me. Okay, so coming back in, taking a look at the point system. So outranked by, ranked by. I believe the outranked are the individual who's already died, so I get some points for that. And the outranked, and then the outranked by are the players that are still living and still playing, so I lose points. Not very much since I had such a low rank to begin with. And then you can see who killed you and how many points you lose for getting killed. And at the moment, since I'm such a low rank, you basically get a lot of points just for playing, but the higher you get in your rank, the harder it is to get points and the easier it is to lose points. So we'll go ahead and exit out. And then once again, if we come back over to skins, so instead of having such an obvious tank, I'm actually going to switch to a basic tank color, the tank that you're giving when you first play, and that might make my make myself a little bit less obvious to other players, so I don't seem I'm not being maybe hunted down or someone's not able to know who I am. And then we just killed a player, and that will show the names of the players who end up getting killed in the lobby. And during gameplay, it can be helpful to try to collect as many weapons as possible. And there's different strategies for playing the game. You can basically avoid attacking, basically hide, save your weapons, let everyone else die. And since you get at the very beginning, you get points just to be alive at the end. During that particular game strategy, if you save all of your weapons, then that will basically allow you to possibly have all the weapons and your opponent may have no weapons. They may even be injured, so that way they're an easier kill. Oh. Some other strategies are to wait for your opponents to get injured, either by yourself or by other players, and then move in for the kill. Back, take a look at the players with a question mark under the trophies, and you'll notice on the left this is basically their trophies, I believe, that they've received, and basically you can get that into comparison to what you have. So my previous trophy count was 20, and I played all these players. I killed a player with 143 trophies, got 5.4 points. I killed a player with 0 trophies, got 3.8 points less because they had fewer trophies. And then all these other players, they died, and so I got points just because I outlived them. And then that ends up giving me a total of 15. So here's my new trophy count. We can go ahead and exit out. I won one of my games, so that goes to my XP goals. And then I can come in and see that I've dropped down and I've got a higher rank, trying to go all the way up to as close to number 1 as possible. And like I said, at the very beginning when you're playing this game, your goal is just to do your best you can. It is a completely different game to get to the top 256. Different goals and strategies for doing that. So maybe we'll do a video on that someday. And then as you're in the lobby, if you keep your eye over on the right, that's going to basically be the kill board. So you can get a chance maybe to see who else is in the game. If you recognize a particular player's tank, if someone's been playing using a very special color tank, special color, special skin, you can check to see if they join into the game. So some other game strategies are to basically do distraction fires, and then let's see if we can get to a position where we can do that. I've been doing a little bit of that during the gameplay. So doing a high shot Yep, missed that one. Try not to go too far down so I don't drown in the water. And other strategies are not to be in the center, maybe be more on the outside edge. A little bit better to be toward the high ground. Back up to higher ground. All right. So some other strategies or things to consider is in that particular case, I did not get killed. So if I would have gotten shot at the very end, then I would possibly have lost some points. So if you're going to have to die, it's almost better to self-annihilate, jump into the water. Some players may not consider that very honorable. And also, it may not be very good to improve yourself as a player if you're basically taking a dive instead of trying to fight to the end. But, there are some considerations for that if you're at the very end of the season and you're at the very edge of your particular um, leadership level. That, for instance, if you're say for instance you were in the Silver League at the top 2,000, and if you end up dying, you'll put you in the bronze. You'll end up losing 1,000 coins and 10 gems. So sometimes you have to take a dive just to keep your rank. So that's a consideration. It's also a consideration too, is if you're going to die, if you end up getting killed by a low level player, it's kind of hard to know in this situation since you don't know who the players are, but sometimes you'll know. It's better to, if you do die, if you do get killed, it's actually better to be killed by a higher level player than a low level player because you lose less points by getting killed from a higher level player. So don't, if you know who a higher level player is, don't fear the higher level players, because if you happen to kill them, you will get more points for killing them. If they kill you, they won't get very many points. The trick is just to try not to die too early in the game, because if you die very early in the game, you're going to lose a lot of points. Okay, so come back into another round. Oh, and speaking of skins, sometimes it can be helpful to switch to different skins each round just to keep your opponents on their toes. They won't know who you are. So that is a strategy to consider. And one of the things about Ranked Royale compared to Squad Royale, as if they do a season, start doing seasons again with Squad Royales. And the Ranked Royale, they actually do a matchmaking process, so you'll basically be playing similar level players to you. So that usually means that if you do end up dying and you're a higher level player, you're less likely to end up being playing against someone who has a very, very low rank. And if they actually ended up being a good player with a low rank and kill you, then you're not going to lose very many points, because that ranking will never happen because of the matchmaking. But in ranked squad games, it's very possible for you to have a really nice rank, but you end up getting killed by a wood player who is a very good player, but maybe they didn't start playing the ranked games until the very last day of the season. So basically they can quickly annihilate your rank because they can basically assassinate you.
Hang on, we're in for some chop.
Okay, so one of the strategies is to be a vulture, basically looking for any injured players. Lots of times they'll be hanging out away from the top. And we just had someone take a dive. Maybe they went DCD, disconnected, so, or maybe they were just so injured they just got out of there, or lost their balance and fell into the water. Hard to say. Alright, so 4 players left, 3 opponents. It's also good to be up toward the top because that's where the parachutes come in. Ah. You got me. All right. And got killed, only lost a 0.3, but we're still a very low rank. And we didn't get any kills in that round, so only got 6 points. And go ahead and jump back in. If this was my higher level, my other account with the higher level accounts, I typically change my tank skin and color every round. That was guest 1240. Figure out who they are if you kill them in the lobby before the game starts. But that can also work to your disadvantage if you end up getting killed in the lobby. And so the person who kills you and anyone who sees you killed will know who what your identity is.
This is a non-smoking flight.
Uh-oh. Ah, got him. Oh, did really good. Got a couple of injured players, as well as I am. Got him. See how many. Nope. No crates. See if we can get that shield before it sinks. Uh oh. I'm gonna screw it up. Okay. Alright, just the two of us. Ah, nice shot. Alright, and go ahead, jump back in again, see if we can't get our rank a little bit higher. So, basically, I think I've pretty much covered everything that there is to know, maybe for beginners starting off for the Ranked Royale. Maybe the only other thing I haven't mentioned is basically, instead of season points, I think I did mention that at the very beginning, no season points in this game. It's just trophies. So the whole purpose, once again, of playing Ranked Royale for an XP grinder is to get those gems and get the season pass. That will give you an XP doubler, or season pass will double your XP, and that will help you to level up a lot more quickly. So, and then besides that, the Ranked Royale is just basically getting onto the leadership board, and it's just kind of a fun thing to do, a little bit more of a prestigious thing to do as to indicating your level of ability for this game. So kind of bragging rights. Other things to consider for gameplay is to take your time. It's usually better to take your time. Be a little bit more methodical. basically, since you get points for being one of the last players, it's better to not push it. And where's the last player at? And just taking your time to get that win. All right, so last person to be standing and get, once again, a lot more points for killing than so it's good to get the kills, but once again, if you're having a hard time getting the kills or you're getting yourself killed, sometimes it's better to play Avoidance, and so that way at least you're getting points for not dying. Oh, another thing, trails, tank trails. I forgot that I had my tank trails on. This actually, the trails go a little bit further than the smoke that comes with the tank, and the trails can actually give away your position a little bit more easily. So highly recommended to get rid of trails when you're playing the game.
The vomit bag.
No red arrow, so I don't know where the opponents are. Okay, got another win in there. Yeah, collect some XP. And once again, I've got poison task, I got grenades task, rapid task, and I don't like any of those weapons to basically be a weapon of choice for a ranked royale game, so I'm just ignoring all of my XP goals. Whole point of getting ranked royales to get trophies. And we'll go ahead and jump back in one more time. So I guess the last thing I'm trying to point out is, I haven't talked about very well, is um, some of the different strategies. Just reiterate, basically taking the outside and high ground, try not to be in between attackers, go for crates and weapons, try to get stocked up as you are moving through the landscape. One strategy is avoidance, waiting for all the other players to die, saving your weapons toward the end, playing the Vulture, going through and looking for injured players or using your missiles to injure players and then take them out with a barrage of attacks. It's also good not to die with weapons. So, I mean, if it'd be better just to release all of your weapons if you're about to die than to die with all of your weapons fully loaded.
We'd like to remind you that this is a non.
And the other thing is, don't give up. Keep trying. Just because you have minimal health left doesn't mean you're dead. So we've got 11 players left. Uh-oh. And they got me. Alright, so I died 10 out of 16. And once again, I'm such a low rank at this particular moment that it doesn't really negatively affect me. I did kill one player and got a lot of points for that. So we'll go and exit out. And what we'll do is we will actually do an account switch. And we'll go ahead and let's see, where are we at? Looking for Rocketbot Royale. There we go. Put in the credentials. Give me just one moment. And come back in. Okay, now we'll go ahead and play around with a level 70 account. And looking in the leadership board, this player is at 356 rank, so it's in the Topaz. And so with this particular, if we jumped into Ranked Royale, since I've got, I believe, 24 energies, that gives me a lot more perks. So this one has all the health, has the speed, has the vampire perk, nuke, homing missile, and a couple of flak. So we'll go ahead and jump in with this particular account. Before we do that, we'll take a look, see what our skin is. And this is kind of a generic skin, so we'll jump in with that. So with this ranked account, if I had been starting off for the beginning of the season, I would be playing with other players that are low ranked, but with this one, all these players are going to be higher ranked, so the gameplay is going to be a little bit more intense. Players are going to be a little bit more experienced.
We'd like to remind you that this is a non-smoking flight.
Oh no. So now we're doing some avoidance. trying to find an opportune with the vampire perk. I can get some of my health back if I can do some damage. But being as injured as I am, there are players that are gonna be looking for me for an easy kill. But I made it to 4th. Let's see what that does to my so I lost 1.7. That player was a high ranked player, so it could have been a lot worse, and I didn't lose too much since there was I was 4th remaining, and I got a lot of points just for staying alive, and didn't do any kills, so 5 points isn't bad. And we'll go ahead and jump back in. And the one thing I did not do is I did not change my tank and skin, so it's too late now. I wouldn't recommend canceling out. From my experience, canceling, you're still going to get pulled into a game, so that cancel is a little bit confusing because from my experience, if you cancel out, your tank's still pulled into the game. There's no guarantee that you actually fully cancel out. And now whoever killed me knows who I am.
like to remind you that this is a non-smoking flight.
Some things you may also notice when you get into the higher level gameplay is that some players will actually team up together. And there's no rules against this. The game mechanics, if players want to team together, they have that capability. Oops. I'm up low. Oh, died. So still got a point just for playing. Go ahead and change skins since some players know who I am. We'll change it to the hot dog and jump in it again.
Hang on, we're in for some chops. Oh, flew right into the bullet. And then we lost a point. So, no kills. Made it to 5 out of 12, and that's what saved me from losing so much.
Okay, so that's the difference between basically starting off as wood and then playing at a higher level. And so, yeah, I think we've covered everything that I wanted to cover for the Ranked Royale. So thank you once again for joining me on the channel, and we will see you in the next video.